I'm launching my AI automation agency, and in this video, I will explain what is my strategy with this new business. If you are new here, I'm Julian. I'm a software developer turned entrepreneur. Previously, I used to run an online education business in the crypto space. It did pretty well, and I became financially independent. And for my next challenge, I turned my eyes to AI. Quick announcement. If you need an automation for your business, I run an AI automation agency. Follow the link down below to make an inquiry. Okay, so why did I choose to do an AI automation agency? When I first looked at the AI world, I was both amazed and intimidated. What I was looking for was, how am I going to leverage AI for my business? AI is a world that seems to offer infinite possibilities, but when you have too many choices, it's hard to choose. So I started to think strategically. There are three categories of businesses that I considered: selling content, selling services, and selling software. Selling content, I already did it, so I was looking for something new. Selling software, on paper, this is amazing because you have recurring revenue and you build software, which is very fun. But in practice, when you run a SaaS, you will spend more time doing marketing than writing code. So not exactly what most people expect. And it can take a long time before you generate enough money to rely on it. And I don't feel comfortable to take so much risk, so I decided not to focus on this strategy. So we are left with selling services. But what does it mean? When I was doing some research on YouTube, I saw a new trend: AI automation agencies. AI automation agencies help businesses to become more productive with AI and automations. The idea is to build and sell automated workflows using tools like N8N. With these automations in place, companies win in three ways. They can do more of what they were doing before. They can do it better because now their employees can focus on more important tasks. And they can do it at a higher profitability by reducing their team size. Automation is not new. We had tools like Zapier since many years, but what has changed recently is the new capabilities of automation tools. So now we have more complex workflows with branching, loops, conditional, code nodes, and AI. And this opens up a lot of possibilities. Suddenly, we can automate a whole new range of business processes. So instead of trying to find some new clever use case of AI, with an AI automation agency, you start from existing businesses and you try to make their business more efficient. I like it because it provides real value to businesses, it's fast to learn, and I can get my first customer easily. Another thing that convinced me to get into this is when I understood the size of the market. The AI industry is exploding. The global AI industry is projected to reach $600 billion in 2025, and it will be multiplied by 5 in 10 years. Then business adoption is coming. 80% of global companies now use some form of AI in at least one business function. That's up from 55% just 2 years ago. Among small businesses, 75% already experiment or actively use AI tools, and 78% of small and medium-sized businesses plan to boost AI budget next year. Then you have the ROI, which is visible and measurable. For coding tasks, the benefit is obvious. It's estimated that a coder that uses AI is 30% more productive. For other areas, it's easy to observe the benefit from AI. If you automate a task, companies can reduce their team or keep their employees and reassign them to more productive tasks. Then AI talent is hard to find. 25% of all US tech job posting in 2025 require AI skills. Gartner says that 60% of enterprises will still struggle to hire qualified AI staff through 2026. That's why companies are eager to pay for expertise from agencies because they cannot buy it on the labor market. So this is why I think that we have a strategic window of opportunity, because on the one hand, businesses understand the value of AI and automation and are willing to invest. On the other hand, we are at the very beginning of this cycle. There is a lot of work to be done and there isn't that much competition at the moment. AI automation agencies are like web development agency 20 years ago. At that time, you could sell a static HTML website for 20K. Now we have a similar opportunity for AI automation. So this is why I've decided to launch my own AI automation agency. So how does an AI automation agency make money? They make money by selling automated workflows using tools like N8N and openAI. You can get a one-time fee for setting up the workflow, and you can also get recurring fees for running the workflow, providing support, and doing some customization. For example, you could have a setup fee of $5,000 and a monthly fee of $500, where you agree to make sure the workflow runs smoothly and you provide some simple customizations if needed. The recurring fee is really interesting because you progressively build a stream of passive income and you don't have to chase new customers all the time. You can also see AI automation as a way to get your foot in the door, because once you sell this service, you start to get a better understanding of how a business works, and you can make suggestions for other automations or some custom software or even some consulting like an educational workshop to learn how to use AI tools. And if you consistently sell the same automation to many customers, you can start to have a standardized offer. This is what we call a productized service. And that's great because now it's easier to sell your service and it's easier to deliver it. You just have to copy paste your template. And the final step to this is to create a SaaS, because once you have validated a need from the market, you can sell your solution at scale with software. So by selling AI automations, you have your cake and eat it too, because it's easy to get started and you can still get recurring revenue. So to me, that's the main appeal of this business. So what is a tech stack for an AI automation agency? The basic layer is an automation software like N8N, Make.com, or Zapier. With these tools, you define workflows, which are series of steps to process data. Zapier is the oldest one and has the most API integrations, but their UI is a bit clunky, it's a bit expensive, and I find that they really lag behind in terms of innovation. Then we have Make.com, which is more recent. So Make.com introduced more advanced features like conditional logics. It appeals more to automation experts. And then we have N8N, the cool new kid in town. So compared to Make.com, N8N offers even more advanced features. It's also more developer friendly, and they have an open source version that you can self-host. Self-hosting is great for agencies because it not only reduces the cost of using N8N, but it also allows you to charge a recurring fee for hosting automations, which you cannot do if you use the cloud version of N8N. And you can also do more customization, like installing any NPM packages to use in your workflows. This is why most AI automation agencies use N8N. So N8N is mainly a GUI software with a nice user interface, but it will serve you well to know some coding because in your workflows, you can have code nodes using JavaScript. It will also serve you well to learn how to host a software yourself on a custom VPS so that you can run your own instance of N8N. Another part of your tech stack is going to be the ChatGPT API. Usually you don't use the API directly, but you just use a pre-built node in N8N, which makes it way easier. When you want to use ChatGPT inside N8N, you use a pre-built node, which makes it way easier. You just have to specify the prompt and that's it. So an important skill will be prompting. It's also possible to create AI agents with N8N. They provide everything you need out of the box. A pre-built UI for the chat, and a pre-built node where you define the logic of the agent and where you connect the different tools it can access. So what I just mentioned is just the basic tech stack. Your workflow will probably also integrate other APIs, but that is specific to each use case. Technically, it's easy to integrate APIs. In N8N, there are pre-built nodes for the most popular ones, so you just need to click and choose the action to take. And if you cannot find a pre-built node for your API, you have a generic HTTP node, which you can use to make any HTTP call. So your expertise for integrating APIs is more about knowing which tools are at your disposal and which actions you can take with them. And once you know this, you can better design a workflow and advise your customers on what is possible or not. So now, if you want to offer more advanced services to your customers, it's also possible to add some custom software into the mix. For example, you can build a custom dashboard connected to your workflow. There are tons of low-code tools for that, but nowadays with AI, it's not that difficult to custom code your own dashboard from scratch, and it offers way more flexibility. So at a high level, you have tools like Lovable, where you can code a whole app from scratch. And if you're willing to do more research, you can use an AI code editor like Cursor combined with Next.js, Tailwind for styling, and deploy it to Vercel. But you don't have to get started at this level. You can just start with basic N8N and progressively learn more skills and add more advanced services to your offer. So how did I launch my own AI agency? The first step was to define my offer. So the more specific, the better, because it's easier to sell and it's easier to deliver. But at the same time, because I'm new to this market, I want to work with different customers so that I can better evaluate the demand. I want to work with different kind of customers to see where is the demand and to see what kind of project I enjoy doing. So I define my offer pretty broadly. So to get started, I will do any AI automation that covers 3 use cases: lead generation, customer support, and content generation. In the future, once I have a better understanding of the market, I will specialize in just one area. The second step was to create a website. I was tempted to buy a WordPress template like I used to do before AI, but since I'm doing an AI agency, I decided to use AI to create my website. So I used V0 and the result was great. I used the Astro framework, a JavaScript framework to code static websites. Then I hosted my website on Vercel. It's free and easy to use. For the name of my agency, I wanted a domain name with a .com because that's better for SEO. And I also wanted a name that is short, unique, and if possible, something that has a tech vibe. So in the end, I came up with Kyburn.com. There is some resemblance with cybernetics, which gives it a nice tech vibe. And after all of this, the next step was to get my first customer. So the first thing I did was to tell my entrepreneur friends that I run an AI automation agency, and if they have any need, they can ask me. The second step was to create a freelancer account on Upwork. There's a decent amount of demand for N8N project, so it seems like a good place to search. The last time I used Upwork was a long time ago and the competition was fierce. But in the meantime, they solved this problem by charging freelancers to apply to jobs. So this forces you to carefully select which job you apply to. So far, I've seen an average of 10 to 15 applicants per job, which sounds reasonable. So I've already applied to a few jobs and I already have a few conversations going. So hopefully I can sign my first client in the next few days. So now Upwork is just one part of my strategy. The other part is, of course, this YouTube channel. This is a key element to establish my authority in this field. I also need projects for my portfolio and I also need to create content for this YouTube channel. So I will kill 2 birds with 1 stone by making N8N tutorials on this channel. And I will even make a whole course on N8N, and this will be completely free. And once I have this course, it will act as a lead magnet for my AI agency. So I've already used the same exact strategy when I was a blockchain developer and it worked perfectly. So if you need an automation for your business, click on the link down below to send us an inquiry and we will get back to you within 1 business day. I'm super excited by this new adventure. All right, that's it for today.